Welcome to the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. We're in Season 4, Episode 17, and we are jetting off from the sunny coasts of California to the mountain regions of eastern Italy. We're the home of Prosecco for this week's journey. What a fantastic journey we are on. And our wine nerd of the week is a region rather than a word, or a word that defines a region, Veneto. And Veneto is the eastern region of Italy, famous for Prosecco. Now, our can of the week is the Frico Frizzante, right here, and you can see it there, by Scarpetta. It's a 250 milliliter can, 10% alcohol by volume, and it's dedicated to the love of the taste of Prosecco. Now, this wine itself actually has 25% of the Glera grape and 25% of Chardonnay and 50% Trebbiano grapes, all which come from the Veneto agricultural region of eastern Italy, which is immediately north into the mountains north of Venice. So we have opened previous vintages of this and been quite impressed. It is a product of Bobby Stuckley and Lachlan Patterson, Stuckley being a sommelier and a master sommelier, and Lachlan being a former chef at a very famous restaurant in New York City, or French Laundry, that's it, yes, in New York City. Now, where did I find this little gem? I found this one in Artisan Wines and Liquors at 180 Main Street in Beacon, New York. I've also, I think my last version of this I got from Warehouse Wines and Liquors in Danbury. So it is widely distributed, and for good reason. It's a very easy drinking, popular format, and I quite liked it. Now, it's in the style of Prosecco. Obviously, Prosecco typically would be made with 100% Glera grapes, so this isn't like that. And Scarpetta is the name of the company or the organization that puts it together. And a scarpetta is actually an Italian word for a small piece of bread crust that you use to mop up the sauce that's left after you eat. So that's where the name comes from. And I'm here what we call on Boxing Day back in Canada, but I'm of course in New York and enjoying the weather down here. We had a pretty significant, I would call it a blizzard really. They closed the roads and we had about 6 to 8 inches of snow, so I've been out shoveling all day and we're in good shape now. So at any rate, let's do what we do here on the Canned Wine Podcast and open this can of Prosecco. So Prosecco-like, rather. So we'll start again. They're saying you would smell green apples and pears. I definitely can smell that. It's got a nice, healthy sparkle to it. It is a carbonated wine. Very light taste. Yep, exactly what I expected. Similar to the previous version that I had. Also a dry wine and fairly crisp. The artwork is of a rather large hog. I can't remember the name of the artist, but it was on some of the information that I looked up. An artist of some renown has made it. And we are demoing a new microphone here at the Canned Wine Podcast, as well as in the background you can see we have a large balloon display that was donated to us by our friend Brian the florist. And he, I think, is at Red Bricked, I think is his YouTube location. And he's always a big supporter of the podcast and wonders what we're doing while we're enjoying a glass of Prosecco. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that really fantastic balloon arrangement that you helped us out there with. And the new year is coming, and with it dry January, so we're going to do some dry January features. And we're also going to do some promotions. I've managed to dig up these interesting vintage postcards, and for anybody that's able to comment or answer our head scratcher, we're going to be sending those postcards out to you. We'll contact you and get your address so you can have a little piece of the Canned Wine Podcast to put on your fridge or your desk or wherever you would want to do it. So I know Paul from Port Protection has a card coming to him that he won by subscribing a week ago or so. So hope he's dug out and isn't too buried in the snow, and he'll get a nice card, a thank you card coming out to you there. So appreciate the subscription. And anyone that subscribes, we'll try and send you out one of these cards. We've got a good selection of them. I got them from a secondhand art store here called Retake Remake. You know, when you're doing these crafty things and you have a little bit of stuff left over, well, people take it to Retake Remake, and then they get them to people to redistribute. So I've got a couple of really interesting antique postcards of old tugboats and different stuff like this, and I thought, what better way to promote the Canned Wine Podcast than to ship some of these out to our viewers. So give me the comments, answer our questions, and we'll be happy to do that. So our shout out today goes to the crew that we were tobogganing, sledding, whatever you want to call it, earlier today. The conditions were ideal. That would be Tara and Shayna and that whole crew there. Thanks, guys. It was good chatting with you, even though it was freezing cold out there. It was certainly the companionship and conversations were very warm and kept us going. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a chance to enjoy this amazing wine. It's available fairly locally. I think you could find this. Beacon isn't too far from us, so if you're stuck, hit me up. This comes in a 4-pack of cans, and I think I have at least 2 left. So that's that. A shout out as well to all the people who answered the questions and do have some swag coming to you. In addition, we're going to have some knit caps coming up. I reordered the Canned Wine Podcast logos, so we'll get our people manufacturing those knit caps. Anybody who's watching, I didn't do this episode just so I could wear this oh snap shirt, but it's probably the one time of the year when you can pull off such a ugly sweater. So that's great. And our head scratcher for this week: what region does this wine come from? What region does this wine come from? So in closing, thank you for tuning into the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. I remember to tell you all to enjoy responsibly. Just because it comes in a can doesn't mean you should drink and drive. The Canned Wine Podcast is a center stage production, all rights reserved.